The CSO community was first rocked in October of 2022 with the conviction of Joe Sullivan. They were rocked a second time on May 4th, 2023 with his sentencing. Joe is the highly successful U.S. attorney turned CSO for a number of major tech firms, including eBay and Facebook. He was also the CSO for ride-sharing giant Uber during their 2016 breach. That breach threatened to expose the data of 600,000 drivers and the personal information, PII, for nearly 57 million riders, and Joe was the highest-ranking security expert with Uber. The charges over the breach were dropped. Then what was Joe Sullivan convicted of? Hello, this is Trace Bannon reporting from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. The trial of Joe Sullivan focused on his discussions and lack of disclosure to the FTC. The core of the prosecution is his failure to report a felony crime, receiving 3 years probation for felony obstruction and misprision for not reporting the 2016 breach. The term misprision means to deliberately conceal the knowledge of a felony. The CSO community has begun to fear facing legal penalties for doing their jobs. This case should be a wake-up call for improving controls and processes, so why the CSO Blues? Because the role of CSO is difficult. Breaches and breach responses are very dynamic. There's a lack of clear federal guidelines for reporting breaches. The question remains, who is liable for handling the breaches? Will this case and the outcomes cause CSO to become more concerned about protecting themselves than protecting the organization? We certainly want CSOs to be focused on managing victim risk rather than risk to their careers. Senior security leaders are forced to consider at what point in the breach might they be held liable for the consequences. There are many details of this case that still need to be discussed. Why was the CSO held liable when a paper trail shows that Joe Sullivan had set up an incident tracker for the response team? Why was Joe accused of a cover-up when he informed and deferred to Uber's CEO, Travis Kalanick? The bottom line is that our executive security leaders are unclear what the future will bring. They are singing the blues. This will give us all something to noodle on.
Search for and subscribe to It's 505 wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.